Hi there, it's me. This is what I look like. Let's go. Remember in the syllabus, I was blah 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 saying that where is it? Required. Where is it? Required resources. Where does it say this? Remember that? This is what I was referring to. 2 packs of 3x5 index cards that look like this. Get these. Get these. This is how you'll succeed in this course. And if you carry this technique over into other courses, college will become a lot less stressful. There we go. So, 3x5 cards. These right here will help you so much in this course, and your other courses too, if you could adopt this type of practice and discipline in most of your studies. So here's how it would work in this course. Okay, so first and foremost, the key is the practice that I'm telling you, you have to do regularly. It's not something that you do once or twice and you got it. It's something that you just do. It's part of your day, right? If you're in school, there are certain things you just have to adopt that become part of your day. You have to become a school nerd if you're going to be successful in school. So this technique that I'm about to show you in this course is something I learned from other students when I was in college. When I started college, I went back when I was a little bit older. I was about 28 when I went back to college, and it was terribly stressful for the first couple of years. But I always noticed that there were other students around me that were successful and incredibly relaxed and happy. And so I began asking some of those people questions. Why are you so happy? And how are you successful in college? And this is a technique that came up quite a bit. So let me show you this technique in relation to this course. So first starting off with the lectures, and then I'll show you how you want to apply it for the final exam. So let's go to Reconstruction. Now, Reconstruction has 4 learning objectives, so you want to take out 4 different index cards. You might want to color code them. I just have 4 random index cards that are different colors, but sometimes it helps to have all yellow for one lecture, all blue for another, all green for another. What I highly suggest doing in this course is writing on one prompt, on one side, the learning objective prompt, which is discuss the 2 constitutional theories that evolved around the question of Reconstruction. Write that out physically. And on the other side, you want to write down key points. So let me back up a little bit. You should first take your notes, right? So have a notebook handy, take your notes. Once you're done taking your notes based on this learning objective prompt, this is where these come in handy, because you don't want to overcrowd the other side with a bunch of notes. It won't work that way. This is the second or third process of studying. So once you've taken your notes and you've gotten familiar with this and you've come back to it the next day, this is where you're going to write down some key points, bullet points of the response to this particular essay prompt. So the 2 constitutional theories here will be basically was the South in or out of the Union when the Civil War began, and the other constitutional theory is who will control, which branch of government will control the process of Reconstruction, the executive or the legislative. Right there, I just gave you the answer to the first prompt right there. That's basically the 2 constitutional theories right there, right? And so there's a lot of details to those two theories. Was the South in or out of the Union when the Civil War started? So that goes in your notes, right? That the dates, the people associated with that particular question, laws maybe, whatever the case may be. What would go here on the bullet point is simply writing, was the South in or out of the Union when the Civil War started, right? The second theory is, who will control the Reconstruction process? The legislative or the executive? In your notes, there's lots of details for that. Here, keep it simple, right? So that's your first index card. Your second index card, learning objective 2. Same thing, right? actually physically write the learning objective prompt right here. That's very important, because what that will do is it will prompt you what you're looking for when you're reading and viewing the lecture, right? And so you'll want to do that in your notebook as well, your spiral notebook or your binder. Physically write it down so it will jog your mind. It will prompt your mind of, oh, I am looking for information that regards the presidential plan of Reconstruction, and I'm trying to figure out why it was weak and how it led to the congressional plan of Reconstruction. That's basically what that prompt is asking you to do there. What will happen if you don't write it down is you'll just see some words here that basically amount to blah, 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 Reconstruction, Congress. And then you go through this like a frantic maniac going, I don't see the answer in here. It's not here. Click, 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 click. It's not coming up, right? You want to physically write it down. And that way you'll go, oh, that's what I'm writing it down, right? The relationship between the kinesiology, the energy of your finger and your hand to your mind will develop the specific neurons, right, to help that information come through to you. Same thing. Take your notes in a notebook. Watch this. You're going to have dates. You're going to have historical individuals. Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, Thaddeus Stevens. You're going to write in your notes. When you get here, you're going to write very brief prompts, right? So you're going to do that. I'm not going to go through each one of these, but you're going to want to do that for each of these learning objectives for Reconstruction. So at the end, you have 4 index cards in a stack. You can get yourself a what you call it, a paper clip. Put it on here and put that aside. And you'll do the same thing for the civil rights movement, right? Write on one side the prompt for the Civil Rights Learning Objective 1. It's right there. There's the information for it. And on the other side, after you've taken your notes, some brief information of how to respond to that learning objective. Once you're done with the Civil Rights Movement, you're going to move on to the West. Same thing. Index cards, notes, women's suffrage. Now, at the end of this particular unit, you'll have 4 stacks of index cards. And as you're just, whatever you're doing throughout your day, right? You're waiting to eat, whatever the case may be. Whoops. Another video has been made available. Close tab, yes. You're at the doctor's office. You're waiting for the next class to start. You're just waking up, drinking your coffee, whatever the case is. This is where you will begin to test yourself, drill yourself, just going over. All right, Reconstruction. What are the learning objectives? What are the brief responses? So when it comes time to take the quiz, even though in the quiz you could use notes. Don't use electronic equipment. Don't use computers. That's not allowed. But you can use your notes on this. But it's timed, right? So you can't get on the on Blackboard and expect to have all of your notes and books and your phone out and expect to respond to this. It's time. You'll run out of time. If you have not memorize it, but if you're familiar enough with the responses, by the time it comes to take the quiz or the exam, you'll find that you won't have to rely on your notes. Fair enough? Try it out. It works. It works. Students that do this are successful. Students that don't do this are the ones emailing me, asking me how to succeed. Your class is very confusing. I am a very busy person. I have 25 children. I work full-time. My grandmother is sick. My entire family. What I hear lots of stuff, right? And then I'll ask them, did you incorporate this study tool? No, it was too confusing. Well, I'll hear all sorts of stuff why they didn't. Do this, do this, do this. If you do this, I swear this class will not be that stressful. And if you can incorporate this in your other courses using this technique, it won't be as stressful. Look around. You will begin to notice this. Look around when you're at college. If you happen to be on campus, seeing students whipping out index cards and preparing them and drilling themselves. Successful students do this. Unsuccessful students don't do it. It's as simple as that. It's a study technique that will work wonders. Okay, that is how to prepare for the quizzes and essentially the exams, since the exams are asking you to respond to the particular essay prompt associated for each learning objective, right? So again, remember, each learning objective is basically a response to each learning objective is the response to the essay prompt, right? So if we go here, civil rights movement, where's the essay prompt? Oh, I didn't link it in here. But the essay, basically, it's right here. Compare and contrast the struggle for the civil rights between African Americans and Mexican Americans and the leadership of that movement. Discuss the impact of the recent Supreme Court decision, Shelby County versus Holder, on American society. So that's the essay prompt. Again, the response to that essay prompt is created by having a response to each of those learning objectives, right? So it works, that technique with the index cards works for the quizzes and it works for the exam, right? Now, moving on to the final essay. If you have not looked at this already, everybody is going to prepare a response to this particular essay prompt. Now, this is something you can prepare. This is an essay you're preparing ahead of time. It's not an exam. It's an essay, which means to try. So make an attempt, right? It doesn't mean to fail. As a lot of students, I think the word essay means to fail. It's actually a French word, which means to try, to make an attempt, right? So make an attempt. Don't put it off is one of the key things you want to keep in mind. But index cards are quite helpful. I threw these over here for something like this as well. So what is the essay prompt? It's quite simply, what does it mean to be an American? Right? A very important question because there are all sorts of responses to that, and all of the responses are inherently political. And if you're paying attention to the current presidential election, some of the responses to that question are incredibly disturbing. And so let's use this course to develop a response to anybody who wants to limit what it means to be an American in this course, in this country, right? There are people here who, like Toni Morrison, the very prolific writer, who takes on a lot of issues dealing with gender and race, who's written some very famous books called Bluest Eye, Sula, Songs of Solomon, Jazz, A Beloved was made into a movie. She had a very interesting quote. She gets a very, if you see her interview, she gets very pissed off about being described as an African American author. And her quote that basically his response to that is, to be an American means to be white. The rest of us have to hyphenate, right? And so this question is inherently political, so what I'm asking you to do is basically write an essay, and it's basically a political response. What do you think it means after studying the material of this course? What does it mean to you to be an American? There is no wrong or right answer to this question. It depends on what side of the tracks you come from in many cases, and the breadth of one's knowledge. There's a lot of people who answer this question that are willfully ignorant and are using responses that aren't based on any kind of prior knowledge. This course will give you that type of knowledge if you're paying attention. So what does it mean to be an American? Let me go through this real quick. Your response requirements. Your response should include issues relating to gender, race, class, war, peace, and reform. Put the word "and" in there. And reform. Refer only to the sources listed below. So don't use any outside sources. This is basically an exam on how closely you were threading the assigned material to this question, right? So don't use outside sources. All of the sources are below, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. Your paper will be a 6 to 10 page paper using 12-point font, double spaced, New Times Roman. Right? Do not plagiarize. Do not plagiarize. Do not plagiarize. If you're not sure what plagiarism is, please view these links here to find out what plagiarism is. Educate yourself on that. You're going to use Chicago Turabian for your citation, and so you're going to use endnotes and a works cited page for this work here. So endnotes and a works cited page. If you're not sure with what Chicago Turabian, a lot of students try to overthink what citation styles are. Just go through these various links and follow the examples. That's all it is. Follow the examples. Do the best you can with it. But basically, at the bottom, you're going to have footnotes, endnotes. referring to whatever you're quoting or whatever information it is. But please go through these various notes these various links that I grabbed to find out what Chicago-Turabian citation is. You need to use it for this particular assignment, and you need to use it for your discussion posts. Do make plans to have your paper proofread. There is an online tutoring source at your disposal. Please use it. So, address and refer to each unit. Your essay should refer within your endnotes to at least 2 lectures per unit and at least 1 sublink for each unit. And the sublinks are here. So basically what I'm saying here is that unit 1, you want to have you want to refer to at least 2 lectures here in your response, what it means to be an American. And you also want to find, these are the sublinks right here. Let me just title that too, so there's no confusion on that. Sublinks. These are various links related to Reconstruction and the Civil Rights Movement right here, right? So refer to those sublinks. Also, at least one for this section, for this unit, right? So same thing right here, the West. Oh wait, where are we going? Oh yeah, unit 2. Unit 2 right here, and I'll put the word sublinks right here, so there's no question about what a sublink is. Okay, there we go, and I'll fix the rest of it later, so I'm not taking up your time. Sublinks, right? So at least 2 sources, references, endnotes from the lectures. So either one from here, one from here, one from here, and another one from here, or here, or here. It's your choice on how you want to do it. And then at least 1 from the sublinks, right? So there's various sublinks right here corresponding to each of these. And then unit 3, which is unit 2 is dealing with class and reform, so legislation, labor issues like that, issues between the rich and the poor, between the issues that came up during the Progressive Era and the New Deal and the Great Depression, all of that kind of stuff. Unit 3 is dealing with foreign policy, war, right? So you've got something from the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, the Cold War, and Watergate, and the rise of the American right in this country, right? So again, at least 2 references from the lectures for Unit 3, which are right here, right? And then a sublink. Okay, now how do you use index cards to prepare for this particular assignment? This will be very, very helpful if you do it starting today. So as you're preparing for the lectures and you come across some information that helps you respond to what it means to be an American, have a stack of index cards always when you're doing any of your preparation for this course. And so always keep in mind about the final essay, the final exam in this course. When you come across some information, starting with Reconstruction, about what it means to be an American, write whatever it is, the quote that helps you respond to that question, piece of legislation that you come across, a war, a battle, historical individual. It could be Abe Lincoln, it could be Rosa Parks, it could be Thaddeus Stevens, it could be Mother Jones, right? You could write it right here, and on the other side, whatever it is that you wrote that will help you respond, put where you got it from. So for this course, let's go back to here. Let's say you got some information from the West. The West, Learning Objective 2. So you would write right here, the West, Learning Objective 2. Unit 1, the West, Learning Objective 2 on the other side. And put it aside. All right? Anytime you come across information, you just put it aside, and just keep it organized. And at the end of the semester, you might have a stack of 40, 50, 60, 100. Who knows? Right? Then what you're going to do at the end of the semester, when you are ready to write your paper, whenever that case may be, I actually would urge you to write it before the end of the semester, but whenever it is that you're ready to write the essay, take all of your index cards and lay them out carefully. Lay them out on a table, on a big table, a banquet table, preferably. And what you will begin to notice, right, is that you will begin to see that you have an introduction by putting whatever, various different index cards on up here at the top of your table. You have supporting evidence for a body 1, body 2 paragraphs, and then you'll have some cards for your conclusion. And take out your tablet or your laptop, and you look at your various index cards that you have laid out on your table, right? So you might have 20, you might have 30, you might have 50. Then you'll notice that there's some that don't respond, so you'll throw it away, right? It will organize itself for you if you just carefully look at it and organize it in a way that you need to organize it to suffice writing a 6 to 10 page paper. You just take out whatever device you're writing and you look at your learning objectives and you plug in your sources within the narrative of what you're writing, what it means to be an American, and then you go on and write that. The paper, I swear to you, if you do this methodically, if you do this as a daily discipline, will write itself. Please do it. You will be the benefactor of it. This is how anybody who is successful in college writes papers. And does it in a stress-free way. You can do it the other way, which is to wait till the end of the semester and then have to go through all of the material, pulling out stuff, and submit a paper that probably won't get you a very good grade. That's the other option. This way, if you do it on a consistent basis, on a daily basis, you'll be fine. But you have to do it from day one. Have to do it from starting today. So get your 2 packs of 3x5 index cards to prepare for the lecture quizzes and to prepare for the final essay, lecture quizzes and the unit exams. Can you do it? Yes, you can. I know you can. So please do it. I swear, when this was taught to me, school became a lot less stressful. Because that stress is real, and it's 9 times out of 10 students that drop out of college, it's the stress that gets them. So please, please, please incorporate that technique. It will take a lot of the stress, so you're not cramming at the end and freaking out. It gets tiring semester after semester, and so that's what causes a lot of students just to drop out. So when you have techniques that seemingly intelligent people do, there's this myth that you have to be intelligent to get through college or whatever the case is. No, they have tools, and usually they get those tools because their family went to college. My family didn't go to college, so I didn't get any of those tools my first 2 years of college. I got those tools by talking to other people whose family members went to college, and they just got that by talking to their dad or their mom or their uncle or their grandpa, right? Yeah, once I became an index card user, school became a lot less stressful. So use that technique. That's how you'll be successful in this course, and that's how you'll be successful in college. It's there for you if you want to do it. Take care. Bye-bye.